All right then, so we have a single card right here, a single row for one single project using the grid. But what I'd like to do is create some data down here, and that data is going to contain a list of projects. Then we want to cycle through all those projects and output a different project, a new card for each of those projects. So let's do that. Down here, let us first of all define our data, and this returns an object. And inside this object, I'm just going to paste this property called projects. It's an array, and you can get this off the GitHub page. The link is down below. And each object represents a single project. It has a title. It also has a person right here. It also has a due date. It has a status and some content, which is just lorem ipsum, all the way over there. All right. So we have all of that information on each individual project. So we want to cycle through these now and output that information, a new card for each one. So then, let us say v-4 on the card. So we're going to output a new card for each project, and it's going to be project in projects, because that's the name of our data, projects. So we're cycling through these now. We need to bind some data to the key property, and that has to be something that is unique. So I'm just going to use the project.title. Remember, it's project because we call it a single project right here. All right then. So now down here, we can output the data from each one of these objects. So instead of hard coding create a new website, I'm going to output project.title, which is the first property. Then instead of the person, I'm going to output project.person. And then I'm going to down here output project, and I think it's called due, the property. So let's have a look. Due, yep. And then down here we need the status, so we can output project.status. So now we should get a new card for each individual project, and therefore a new row for each individual project. So let's save this and view it in a browser, and that is looking all right to me. What I'd like to do now is just add some classes to each one of these things right here. So this row, this layout, I'm going to give a class and set that equal to something. Now then, what I'd like to do is give this a dynamic class based on the status of each project. So we have status property down here, right? And that status is either ongoing, complete, or overdue. So what I'd like to do is when we're cycling through these different rows and we're outputting a new card and a new row for each individual item, is give this a class for whatever status this project has. So it could have a class of ongoing, or of overdue, or of complete. So because we want to bind data here, we're going to use a colon. Now I also want to give it a class of project as well, and maybe a class to give it some padding. So I can't just type in here project.status because we want to give it other classes as well. So instead we're going to use an ES6 template string, and we do that by using backticks like so. And this means we can create a normal string but also output dynamic variables in this string. So for example, if I want padding, I can say PA-3 and give it that class. Then if I want a class of project, I can do that as well. But if I also want a class of this thing down here, the status, I can do that as well. And the way we do that inside this template string is by doing a $sign first of all, then single curly braces, then the variable name. So project.status, like so. So now each one of these is going to have a class of PA3 project and either ongoing, complete, or overdue. So let's save that and just see what this looks like. If we inspect this inside DevTools, I'm going to make this a bit bigger so we can see, and move this over. So now we can see each one of these, if we make this a little bigger, has this thing right here. Okay, so at the minute, it's not outputting the actual variable. So let's take a look at what's gone wrong here. And that's stupidly because I've used a percentage sign instead of the dollar. So, okay, let's save that and go over and have a look again. And now we can see this one has a class right here of ongoing. If we go down to the next project, and this one has a class of complete, and this one has a class of complete as well, and this one overdue. So now they all have their own unique class, and we can use that now to style each one a bit differently. So for example, if I want to give this a little color on the left, dependent on that class, I can do. We can color coordinate the status. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down to the bottom over here and create a style tag. And inside that style, I'm going to grab, first of all, a project, because it also has a class of project, then dots complete. So anything with a class of project and complete. And inside that, I'm going to say the border left is going to be 4 pixels, solid, and then a hex code of 3C D1C2. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing for overdue and ongoing. I'm just going to paste these though from my repo, and you can see project.ongoing and project.overdue both have a border left of solid 4 pixels. This one is orange and this one is tomato. So we have green and orange and then tomato color. So then what we're basically doing is saying, okay, if a project is overdue, give it that overdue class. And what we're going to do is give this a border left of this red color. If it's ongoing, it's going to have an orangey color on the border. If it's complete, it's going to have this green color. So we're color coordinating these projects based on the actual status of it. Now, I notice we've got some padding over here, which doesn't look right. So I'm going to go to the card itself and take off that class. I don't think we need that padding anymore. So let's save that and view it in a browser. And that is looking a bit better now. Now, I'd also like a little divider between each one of these projects. So what I'm going to do at the bottom of each card is just use v-divider to do that. Save that and view that. And now we get that little line at the bottom as well. And that is looking pretty good. So now we have our project output. To do this, we're using a combination of data. We're cycling through that using v4 right here. We're giving each one of these rows a unique class right here based on the project status and styling that differently, and we're using the grid system to output that data on the screen in rows. So this is looking pretty good, but in the next video what I'd like to do is take a little look at chips to style these things better over here.